Today on The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, we're taking a first look at the brand new TK Grayscale plugin. I'm really excited to share this with you, and I'll also be talking about some special discounts you won't want to miss. Hello everyone and welcome back to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I am so excited to give you a first look at TK Grayscale. This plugin takes black and white conversion to a whole new level. It not only simulates Photoshop's color channels, but it also gives you fine-tuning sliders, random variations to spark creativity, the option to save presets, and even built-in color toning tools. And don't forget about the TK Magic Mixer. It's another black and white conversion tool, but it also works with color images, so it does double duty where the Grayscale is solely dedicated to black and white conversions. Before we get started, I want to let you know about a special offer. For the entire month of September, everything at the TK web store is 25% off when you use my promo code DK15 at checkout. If you already own the TK Magic Mixer, the new Grayscale plugin is a free update for you. And there's also been a small update to the Magic Mixer itself, so be sure to grab the latest version. And if you don't already own the Magic Mixer, here's some good news. The Magic Mixer and the new Grayscale plugin are bundled together for just $12. And you can still take 25% off that price with my code. I'll have links in the description below this video to take you over to Tony Kuiper's web store. And just so you know, when you use my promo code, I do earn a small commission, which helps support the channel, so thank you very much. Let's go ahead and dive into TK Grayscale. If you're not seeing it, go up to your Photoshop plugins menu, click on that, and you'll find TK Grayscale in there. Open it up, and then at this point, you could go ahead and dock it if you would like, or place it anywhere you want. You know, you can move it around. You can also resize it if you'd like to. So that's all pretty cool. I'm just going to leave it out here so we can actually keep it up front and center. Now, how is TK Grayscale different from the Magic Mixer? Well, the Magic Mixer actually works with Photoshop's color mixer, and a lot of photographers for many years have liked to make black and white conversions with the channel mixer, and it's really hard to use, and the Magic Mixer makes it easy to use. The Magic Mixer can also work with color images, whereas TK Grayscale is only for black and white conversions. Now remember, you get both of these bundled together over at the TK web store, so you're going to get both Magic Mixer and TK Grayscale. So the big question is, Magic Mixer or TK Grayscale? Honestly, I like to try both. The Magic Mixer is great for more traditional channel mixer conversions, while the TK Grayscale gives me a quicker, streamlined method. It really just depends on the image and the look I'm after. I'll go ahead and close the Magic Mixer. Now let's really focus our attention on TK Grayscale. Now, how do you make a black and white conversion? Well, there's many different ways. You can click this plus button, and here's your black and white conversion, your starting point. You can shut the layer off by clicking the eye right here and see a before and after, so that's nice. You have a randomizer. If you click this button, let's say you don't know how to take this image, so you could click the randomizer and maybe come up with a look you like. But then let's say, hey, there was a look I liked, but that was a little while back when I was clicking the randomizer button. Well, then you have this step back and step forward button. So you could step back and find that right one that you really liked, or you could go forward. So that's pretty cool, right? Let me go ahead and delete this layer for now. I'm just going to click the trash can on my combo panel. So the plus button is one way of adding a black and white conversion. The other way of adding a black and white conversion is using these different color channel buttons. Now these are very similar to the color channel buttons on the Magic Mixer, but they're different. And they'll give you the same conversion. In other words, if I click the red button here on TK Grayscale, it will look identical to clicking red on the Magic Mixer. However, there is a difference. The big difference is that in TK Grayscale, the channel buttons are simulations of Photoshop's color channels. You click and instantly see what each channel looks like in black and white. The Magic Mixer works more like Photoshop's channel mixer, where you can blend the red, green, and blue channels in different amounts to create your own custom conversion. Also notice cyan, magenta, and yellow. These buttons represent what a Photoshop color channel in those colors would look like. There really are not those color channels in Photoshop. They're simulations, but they're very helpful. And that holds true for Magic Mixer and TK Grayscale. They're simulations. Right now, you're seeing what the red channel would look like as a black and white conversion. Here's the green channel. Here is the blue channel, the cyan, the magenta, and the yellow channel. Now let's take a look at the intensity slider. Right now you'll note it's at 100. When it's at 100, we're seeing true representations of the red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow channels. When we increase that slider to the right, they become more intense versions of those channels. By the way, the TK Grayscale panel controls Photoshop's black and white adjustment layer. Keep an eye on these sliders. I'll start to drag the intensity over and watch them change. So I'm moving it over now. See how they're changing as I move it over? The image is taking on a more intense, stronger look. Whenever you set this intensity to a certain level, whenever you click like randomize, it will honor the intensity. That's a nice feature, as well as it will honor the intensity when you click through the color channels, which is very nice indeed. By the way, this button is to save out presets. So like you might have waterfall images that you like to have a certain kind of a black and white conversion. You could save the adjustment you make as a preset. This button here, when you click it, resets the panel back to the starting point. So let's start from scratch. Let's do a conversion on this. You know, we could start out by clicking this randomize button and come up with a look we kind of like, or we may want to say, let's start out with a color channel. So let's try red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow. And let's say I like magenta. I think that looks pretty good, but I can go further here. I can refine it. That's what this button's for, refine, adjust. If your properties panel is not open and showing, click this button and you'll see your properties panel, and there's your black and white adjustments. So now what I can do is tweak my adjustments. In other words, I'm using the magenta color channel, but now I can come up here and maybe adjust reds and see. Maybe I want to lighten up the reds a little bit, maybe yellows. Maybe I'll open up the yellows a little bit more, and let's check out greens. Maybe I'll darken the greens. Maybe I'll darken to add a little more contrast. We can work with cyans, move it to the left and right. See how it's affecting that water, making it a little bit lighter. Let's try blues, and then we can adjust blues and maybe right about here. And let's see what magenta does. Not much magenta in this image, but right there. We can either shut the layer off here to see a before and after, or we can click this eye right here to see before and after. So that's pretty cool. Now, wasn't that a quick and easy black and white conversion? Now, let's look at this button right here. This is very important. And what this is, it will let you know if you're clipping your image. So if you click this, you get this live clipping layer. And then, for instance, if I take this yellow slider and drag it to the right to really lighten up the yellows, see these areas turning red? That tells me that I am clipping my highlights in yellows. So I can pull this back just till that clipping goes away, and I know I'm in good shape. And this goes for any of these adjustments. For instance, let me take the green adjustment and I'll drag it to the left. And you'll note now we see a bunch of blue. Well, this is indicating that I'm blocking up my shadows. I was clipping highlights with yellows, and now I'm blocking up shadows with greens. So I can go ahead and pull this to the right and let that blue go away. And I know I'm not clipping any of my shadows. So that's a really nice feature, and that's called live clipping. Now, to get rid of this when you're done, and it's always good to check your image to make sure you're not clipping. Say I'm clipping slightly right here. There's a little bit of blue, but I'm not worrying about that. A little bit of clip shadows can actually look good, but a clipped highlight, you lose detail in your highlights, and that never looks good, and I don't recommend it. So make sure you're not clipping highlights for sure. Now, when you're done with live clipping, just click this button and it gets rid of that layer. That's a good final test after you've made your conversion, just to make sure you're not clipping anything. Let's say I'm happy with this black and white conversion, and I would like to use this same conversion on different waterfall images like this in a similar type setting. So I can save that out as a preset, and it'll be a good starting point. So what we do is come up to the TK Grayscale panel, click this button, click the plus, and we could give it a name like waterfall, and then click OK. and we can X out of here. Now let me go ahead and delete this layer. I'll click the trash can. And now let's go ahead and click the plus to make a black and white conversion, or click any of the color channels. It doesn't matter, but we'll get a black and white conversion. Then click this button and let's click on waterfall, click the X, and there's my waterfall conversion. Pretty cool and fast. Sometimes I like to add a colored tint to my black and white conversions. For instance, maybe a sepia tone or a more blue selenium type tone. And just like the Magic Mixer, we have this button right here. When you click it, you can add a color tint to your image. Now that's sepia. It defaults at 15. It's using the hue saturation adjustment layer. Colorize is checked on, and now you can decrease the saturation or increase it. You can adjust the hue. If you have the TK9 plugin for Photoshop, if you don't, it's on sale right now, 25% off. Use my promo code DK15 to get that 25% off. And then come to the multi-mask panel, click the Edit Blend If button. And let's say I only want that in shadows, so I'll click like Shadows 1. Now that's only in the shadows, or maybe I want it in midtones. I can click like midtones 3 or 2. Maybe midtones 2, and this looks pretty good. And now I'll give it a little more saturation and maybe shift this a little bit warmer to somewhere right around in there. Let me shut off the hue saturation layer. Here's before and here's after, so we can tint. If we don't want this layer, I'll just click the trash can. I don't want to tint this image, but there you go. TK Grayscale has you covered for really cool black and white conversions right here in Photoshop, as you can see. Well, there it is, everyone, the brand new TK Grayscale plugin. I hope you enjoyed this first look and picked up some useful insights. If you did, please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and be sure to click that bell icon and select all so you'll be notified every time I upload a new tutorial. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I'll see you all right here next time, but until then, happy editing.